everyone. I hope you had a wonderful day. Hi, Sherry. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Miss Christine?
I'm good. I just woke up, but I'm here. Hey, Kaz. Hey, Julie. It's so shocking to see Sherry in the chat. Hello, Sherry. How are you? Well, we know the past couple of days, Crime, Line, and Lies, Miss Brooks has spoken with Stacey Wondra. We are all familiar with the Michael Monkey Vaughan case, I'm sure. However, if you're not, I will quickly go over. Um, Michael Vaughan, 5 years old, went missing 7/27/01 from Fruitland, Idaho. Law enforcement received a tip that he may be buried in the backyard of a house Stacey and Sandra Wondra previously lived in, with Brandon Shirtlift and Adrian Lucian. On 11/12/23, Sarah Wondra was charged with failure to notify authorities of a death. Stacey was never charged with the charges with anything related to Michael Vaughn's disappearance. Brooks with Crime Line and Lies has Stacey on panel to share his story. And here it is. Hey Ashley, you guys pray for Ashley. She has COVID with 103 temperature.
Yes, Ashley. I hope you do feel better.
There is a link to Brooks' channel and to the video in the description.
Have
And
they ever
my
searched the
mods will be
backyard?
dropping her link throughout the video. Yes, they dug the backyard with excavators
Excavators, yeah.
and yeah, those things.
2021,
And this is Stacey Wander just wanting to clear his story.
the day that Michael was abducted.
Okay. Um, so it was very weird. The
I want you to listen to every word he says. I want you to look at his body language and just let me know if you think that he's sincere or if he's lying. I don't know what any other way to put it.
I mean, Sarah, Brandon, and I had initially gone and, well, okay, let's start. Let's backtrack. So earlier that day, I had a call for a taxi.
I'm sorry, one more thing. I also would like to know um about the
About the
coughing, the owls, his sickness, how they come in, when he does it. I want you to pay attention to that also because she also interviewed him today and I read in the comments that some people were questioning his illness and when he coughs and says out. And I do know today, I'm not going to go over that one tonight, but I do know today that he was asking for clothes, food, and money on his Cash App. So I'm not going over that one. But I just wanted to let you know. Here we go.
which
Ride.
I think is actually very rude of him.
Wanted to go from Ontario to Boise.
It's about the baby, not him.
Sarah wasn't available, but I was. So
Say that again.
I think it's very rude of him to
Yes,
ask for a
exactly. And
cash
that's what
app
people
to
were saying in the comments. They were like, this is about Michael.
right, not about him.
And another thing, Sherry, is that right. And another thing that I find disrespectful, and maybe it's because he doesn't have kids. He couldn't have kids, right? So he says the kid, the boy a lot. He
He
doesn't
doesn't refer to him
call
by
him
name.
Michael. Yeah. Yep. So here we go. I don't want to stop it like too much, like every 5 seconds. So
And if you
let
notice, a lot of people
huh?
that do K other people, they don't want to give the victims power by giving them a name. So
Oh, stop.
they will often Oh, hold on. I forgot my thought. I'm sorry.
They don't want to call them by their name, so
Right.
they'll either call them kid, boy, girl, whatever they are, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, Kaz, that's what I thought too watching it.
So I was like, okay, I'll just go to the taxi ride. At that same time, I took the taxi ride and I decided to hang out in Boise for a little bit. Um, I think I had gone and visited a buddy of mine in Boise. I don't remember exactly the specifics. I know that um,
Can you
I was
tell us
gone for a few hours.
who the buddy was?
Yeah, so I used to, it was actually an old employer that I did work for, but he also became a friend. His name was Labor, or the company was Labor Dave's, and then his name was David Fears. Um, but I had gone to visit him, I think, to talk to him about some just some extra work at the time. You're welcome, Chrissy. Um,
Thanks. No, just joking.
so I hadn't um,
There are way too many
I
ums and
hadn't been in
uhs in
Boise.
there.
Like I said, it was only for a few hours, but I literally had just stopped to see Dave, and I think it was discussing some about when it started getting dark, probably 5:30, 5:45, somewhere around the end of the 5 o'clock hour. We all got ready and got into the Sierra, the red Burgundy truck, and
Whose
I made
truck
sure
is
that
that? Whose truck is that, by the way? Because I
that
don't know.
no, that Burgundy truck is ours. It was ours.
I'll tell you one thing though, a lot of times he goes off, into a different subject title. And
A different
Brooks
name.
does a very good job at bringing him back and, into what's going on with Michael.
It got repossessed because we were late on the payment on it. So they repossessed it. Um, but that's the only vehicle that we've ever had a repo on. Um, the rest of the vehicles that we've owned or have had, have all been so. Um, so the Burgundy truck is what we took um, to go pick up Brandon's car, and I made sure that I put a tow strap in the back of the truck, um, and other yeah, I don't know, like just safety stuff, for the road because we were not using a tow dolly or anything. We're literally just towing it with a strap. um, so you got to take extra precautions when you do that type of stuff, especially towing a vehicle, and not being really secured, other than the person steering the car behind you. So we had gone to his house, picked up his car. Sarah was driving the truck. I was in the passenger seat, and Brandon was in the back seat. I preferred Sarah to drive most places just because I don't know. I was a bigger guy, and it was uncomfortable for me to sit behind a wheel all the time, and I had literally driven all. I drove earlier that day, and it was hurting me. So
I already don't like this man.
but
Now, what time are we talking about? Don't get confused by the chat, because I mean we'll get your questions in a second.
I
Can
can't even see the chat.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Oh.
Oh, maybe I have to press chat. No.
People are just saying you look great. You've lost a lot of weight.
Oh, thank you.
I was muted talking.
They're not
Good job.
saying that you looked bad before.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one question, a lot of people have is, let's start from the beginning of the day, July 27th,
Mm-hmm.
not when you got the taxi call.
Beginning of the day was as the usual. Woke up.
She is putting some comments up on the screen. That's the ones he's reading because he can see them up on screen. That's the ones he's answering, Sherry. He's not looking at chat.
Right. He said he couldn't see chat.
Yeah, he can't. And I really don't think she kind of wanted him to, because this way she could control the questions and he wouldn't just be reading questions because there was a lot of people in there, like 1,000 plus,
Ooh wee.
From,
So,
I mean, obviously sleeping. Kind of laid around the house, with Sarah and Brandon, and
Right, Kaz?
that was literally the highlight of the morning. I mean, we watched some TV, I think, or a movie, or I don't remember exactly, but there was nothing unusual that day at all. I mean, out of the ordinary. We just did the same routine that we always did, which was get up, have your coffee, get dressed, get showered for the day. Like I said, I think we may have watched a movie
but today he says they didn't even own a TV.
It was a movie or TV show. I don't remember, but
on today's one, remember I was watching it when you called? He says they didn't even have a TV. But yet right now he says they watched a movie or a TV show. But they didn't have cable because they didn't watch the news about Michael. That's what he says today.
I know that the TV shows that Sarah and I really were into were The Good Doctor and so it just shows like that that we would watch. So I don't remember exactly if it was a movie or TV show, but so that was literally like throughout the day, and then I got the taxi call probably, I think it was like around 11, and person wanted to go from Ontario to Boise, so I went and picked him up. Probably I left the house about 12:30 or 1 in the afternoon, and took the Lexus that we had to go pick the client up and transport him to Boise. And I hung out in Boise, I think, for a few hours, and then came home. Neighborhood seemed subtle and quiet. There's not a lot going on. Nothing seemed unusual at our house. Nothing was off. And then Brandon asked us if we would help him get his vehicle, so we agreed we would help him because he'd been bugging us for a while. So we took the truck and went and picked him up, or picked his car up with us in Cuna, and he steered his car behind, and Sarah and I were in the truck. And
okay, JC, and we're going to have a drinking game now. And I want you guys
We
to take
can't.
a drink
We'll
every
lose.
time he says and
We can't. I can't handle that.
Wonderful. I would be 3 sheets to the wind in 1 to 4 minutes.
I wouldn't last that long.
We towed his vehicle all the way back to Fruitland. When we got back, we noticed that there was an exceptional amount of police officers and
right, JC?
people just walking around.
No way.
I told Sarah to pull over. I was like, let's find out what's going on. And we rolled the window down and we asked them, what's going on, what's happening, and they were like, well, a little boy was abducted. And we're like, what? It made no sense because everything was at peace.
Who did you ask?
I don't remember. It was a police officer that we had talked to that was walking up the road from the main strip, 8th Street, which is, you took 8th Street 8th Street led you into this our subdivision. We lived in a whole different subdivision than Michael Vaughan. Lived on the opposite side. He lived on 9th Street. We lived off of I think it was called Pintail Avenue or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the street that led into our subdivision was. It's been so long, but um, we stopped and asked, what was going on, and they told us, and we're like, that's really weird. And I was in the process of trying to get Brandon's car dismantled from or detached from my truck. And Brandon and Sarah had gone and looked for Michael while I was doing that. I offered to go help, and they're like, no, we'll just go out and do it. And I was like, okay. So they took off on foot. Carson's truck, mind you, I know that was a question a lot of you guys had. Carson's truck was never used that night. Carson has a truck, yes, with a light bar on it, but it was never, Carson would never let his truck out. I tried asking him to borrow his truck a couple times in the past, um, just to do like when I don't know, it was stupid. I don't remember exactly, but there was just there was times where I'd asked if I could borrow his truck. I think when like one of our vehicles were down or something like that. But he wouldn't even let that happen. So I know for a fact that he would not let his truck go out just with any. Um,
Ruffles! Yesterday in this chat, guys, me and Ruffles were talking about his demeanor and the no eye contact and the clearing of the throat. And I was telling him that I was writing down those specific things because I was taking notes of his body language and how he was acting. But yeah, it's so good to see you, Ruffles.
he wouldn't even let it go happen with me. He didn't let his best friend take the truck. So they went out and looked for him and came back and said they found nothing. So
Now,
that
hang
was
on.
kind of
Who went out with him and said they found nothing?
Sarah and Brendan went out together,
Were they
and
were
and
they
then
walking?
they were on foot, correct? From what I understood, yes. I wasn't a witness to them leaving in a vehicle, um, because I had the driveway blocked off with the truck, Brandon's car, so they couldn't really leave the driveway. The truck was taking up the lengthwise of the the full side of the drive, full size of the
Lee,
driveway,
feel
because
better.
I had the truck and then so they didn't have access to taking a vehicle to go get it, to go look for him. So they went out on foot.
Okay, well here's a map of the red dot is where you used to live, and
Yep.
where it says the other red dot where it says Vaughan family home.
Yep. Yeah. So that's literally that's on. They live off of 9th Street. I live off. That's so where that road is. That's 9th Street, and then you literally can go on 8th. So you have to, in order to get to 9th Street, you can get there two ways. You have to come in from the subdivision. So that road right there, that curves. You see the right where between family and home, that road right there. So that is not I-95. So you pull into the subdivision. There's a road right there, right directly below the letter U in Vaughan. That road right there, that's 8th Street, and then you go the next road down. That's 9th Street. If you go lower, continue going below the first stop or the first road. That's 9th Street. So you can get there two different ways. You can go pull into the right off the road, main strip. You'll run into a stop sign. You either take a left at the stop sign, and then take a right on 9th Street, or you can go down 8th Street. There's another entrance, another. You'll see like at the end of all the houses, kind of like on the road that continues into the map.
I keep forgetting I'm muted. He said he stopped at the splash pad for 1 to 2 minutes because his shoe fell on the other side of the cab, and he had to stop and get out and go to the other door and get it and then go back in, and then he left. But yes, he admitted to being at the splash pad that day.
You'll see that there is that's 8th Street. So you can take a left on 8th Street. Off way to really show you guys, but we never. What I'm trying to say is we never. I personally have never been on 9th Street. I know how to get there because I've driven by it, but I have personally never been on 9th Street, which is where the Vaughan family lived. Nor don't I even know who Michael Vaughan is. I had no idea that there was a little boy even named Michael Vaughan until the night in question he went missing. I wish I could see the chats. Is there any way I could see chats?
Well, I'm going to start putting questions up here in a second. I mean, everyone is just saying, justice for Michael Vaughan. That, if anyone's in here attacking our guest, you're going to be timed out. He's here to tell his story. So we have to be respectful. Okay. We have to be. There's no point. I spoke to him this morning. He was very forthcoming with me. He told me a lot of things I had never heard before. All right. Let's start with one question. And if you can, okay. Sarah wanted Brandon to give her a baby.
Correct.
Amen to that, Ruffles. I thought the same thing. Yeah. I even emailed her and told her that. And asked her if she wanted to come up, but she had court and stuff today, so.
So you knew about that.
Yep. So Sarah approached me in the bedroom where we sleep, our place of, our master bedroom where we the night in question he went missing. I wish I could see the chats. Is there
everyone is just saying, justice for Michael Vaughan, that, you look great, stuff like that. If anyone's in here attacking our guest, you're going to be timed out. He's here to tell his story. So we have to be respectful. Okay. We have to be. There's no point. I spoke to him this morning. He was very forthcoming with me. He told me a lot of things I had never heard before. All right. Let's start with one question. And if you can answer it, great. If you can't, then no.
Ask.
Okay. Sarah wanted Brandon to give her a baby.
Correct.
So you knew about that.
Yep.
Can you explain how that came down?
So Sarah approached me in the bedroom where we sleep, where our place of, our master bedroom where we sleep. And Sarah had asked me, she goes, I know that you aren't able to have kids because you're infertile, but, Brandon's here and I'm wondering if we can maybe try with him. And at that point I was like, I wasn't comfortable with it 100%, but I was like, you want a kid so bad, then fine. I was like, okay, that's, do what you got to do, just, but we have to do it a few times a day. And I'm like, okay, well, that few times a day, for a couple days.
Her and Brandon had to do it a few times a day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. She always told me that she, you have to do it more than one time a day to be able to become pregnant, which didn't make sense with me. And I was like, I know plenty of people that have one night stands and then getting pregnant. So I don't even know uh, how that even played a part. But I just went along with it, and I was like, okay, so I mean, yeah, you do what you need to do. Well, then 1 week, a couple days turned into a week. And at the end of the week, I asked her, I was like, so what are we doing? Like, why are you still, oh, well, I haven't, I just want to make sure it's going to happen. And then I told her, I was like, look, like, it's got to stop. I said, I'm tired of listening to you guys fuck all the time.
That's
I
sad.
just wasn't kosher with it anymore, and I expressed that to her, I was like, look, I understood a couple days. That was, that's what you wanted. That's fine. But to repeatedly listen to another dude fucking my wife is a whole nother ballgame. And so
Right.
she ended up stopping.
Oh, hang on. We lost Stacey. Let me send him a link again.
That's JC
Are you there?
Ann's chat.
Yeah, right here.
Link in chat,
Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened.
Sarah was not loyal.
Yeah, the Ruffles. That's why I wanted to I wanted her to come up and review with me, because I wanted other people to hear her questions and what she had to say also, because she was silenced this day.
No, not in the slightest at all.
Okay.
There was no. Sarah was the most deceitful. She destroyed me as a person. She then continually fucked Brandon even after I got arrested, and she got released on that pretrial release before she was rearrested in November. I mean, because Sarah had tried to contact me through the phone because her fucking mom gave her my number. She tried to contact me, and then pretty much tried to apologize for throwing me under the bus. And I'm sorry. I'm like, I didn't mean to. I didn't have that intention. And I was like, yeah, but you fucking did. There's not, there's no hesitation. Like, you did what you did. You threw me and you got me arrested for having my gun. Yeah, I mean, she snitched on me for it, and then I got
He went to the
and some of y'all are confused about the time frames that she got arrested when I got arrested. So she was arrested April 13th of 2022, which was the day of our anniversary, because she held our tenant Tanner Butler, who was also staying with us at the time, at gunpoint. Threatened him and told him that he had to fucking leave and all this other shit. And if he wasn't going to leave, she was going to kill him. So Sarah it turned into a dispute. The cops got called. Sarah ended up getting arrested that night.
So you were still home on what date?
No, this wasn't the day of his disappearance. This is the day of our anniversary, April 13th of 2022. This is when Sarah got arrested for the failure to report, or for she got charged with assault and battery, attempted concealment attempted destruction of evidence, and possession of a controlled substance. She had hydrocodones in her purse that were in a bag. She put them in a so she got charged with like 3 charges that night. So she went to jail at Payette County. Sorry, I'm gonna turn the heater on. It's cold. And then I did not get arrested until about a month later. So there was less than a month. It was probably 16 days later. They came and hit me. I got pulled over because I got a phone call that morning. I didn't get pulled over. Sorry, I got a phone call that morning from Fruitland Police
I keep being muted. I forget to unmute myself. Um, Ruffles. He went to work last night and the owner of the motel said he stunk. His clothes smelled like mildew. Um, so he was working at the motel for a place to stay. He don't have a job, he don't have a place to stay. That's where we are now with him.
Oh, why didn't he wash
Supported
his
it,
clothes at the laundry facility at the hotel?
saying, "Hey, you can, your phones are good to be picked up. You can come get them. When can you pick them up?" I was like, "Well, I'm in town all day. I'll pick them up at 9 o'clock tonight," which was May 6th of 2022, 2020, April, May, yeah, 2022.
See,
Um,
exactly.
so I went down to the police station in Fruitland, called dispatch because it was 9 o'clock at night. Called dispatch, told them that I was there to pick up my phones. Law enforcement met me outside, and then I had my dog with me at the time. Uh, Oakley, the one that you guys have pictures of. Um, uh, I then got out or was told to get out of the car and asked to show my ID for verification. It was like a setup, and they arrested me saying for felon in possession of a firearm. Um, so Sarah had narked on me for having a gun before she got arrested, and then they ran my name in the system, found out that I was a previous felon, and then they're like, you weren't supposed to have a gun. Well, I didn't even have the gun in the presence of the cops. Sarah told them that I went and sold the gun to a gunsmith at New Plymouth, which I did because we needed the money. So I sold the gun to the gunsmith for $475, and came back home. That was April 12th that I sold it. So then I get arrested, tells on me for selling the gun to the gunsmith. The same day she assaulted Tanner, and she gets arrested. I get arrested on May 6th, which was a Friday, at like 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. And that's when my journey began in jail.
Well, some people say that Tanner is the one that snitched on you, not Sarah.
No, Sarah snitched on me. Tanner confirmed it. So Tanner was like her, what do you word it? Like her backup information person, I guess. I don't know what the word is. But he confirmed everything that Sarah said. And so, yeah, so it was Sarah that started the snitching. They're throwing me under
They,
the
they were
bus.
broke the drive. Um, but yeah, that's what one of them was. And it's a budget in Sherry, so I don't even know if they have a blow dryer in the room. So I'm not really. They might. I don't know.
Well,
But
then put it on
that's
the
what
heater.
he said.
Turn the heater on and put it over the heater vent thingy. Whatever. Do whatever you got to do. There's ways to get around it.
Yeah, there's a lot of throat clearing.
And ums and ahs. The ums and ahs is what got him off, I'm sure.
Question, and if you
I'm
can't
joking,
answer it, I
but still.
understand.
He is JC. He talks in circles.
Okay. No. Not that I know of. There was never any sexual discussion. Of course, Sarah wasn't always up and front and honest with me about anything, but I don't see Sarah. I didn't see Sarah as that,
You couldn't smell.
as Tanner being of interest to her. He just wasn't like, I don't know, like as a guy. I'm not trying to sound weird. I'm not gay. I know Sarah's preference, and doesn't sound like he would fit that criteria. Then again, before Sarah got married to me, all she dated was black people, so I have really no room to really say much.
Well, so what? Then put it on the heater. Put it over the heater vent. There you go.
But
There you go.
yeah, so
So she
Now,
preferred
what about
them
the
over you.
rumors
They didn't
about
stink.
threesomes between Brandon and
She preferred anybody over you. They didn't stink. I can't hear them.
Okay, I'm not muting myself anymore. He used to weigh a lot more than he does now. That's what I wanted to say earlier. A lot more.
her.
See, why would she even be attracted to this dude?
Never had a threesome a day in my life.
Okay.
I don't
It
doubt
was
it.
called the love triangle. I've never had a threesome a day in my life. That's not. I'm not even okay with doing something like that. I have more. I have more. I don't know what the word is. Self. Uh, Help me out. What's the word? Like I have more respect for myself than that.
Yeah, self-respect.
Yeah. I'm not
And color has nothing to do with this
that
anyway.
person. I find it very rude and disrespectful and degrading to a woman to even ask a question like that.
Women had threesomes with another woman, dude.
Well, I apologize for bringing that up. We do
No,
have a
no, I mean, don't be like you.
He's
I'm
all right. Well, on July 27th,
see see how she does an amazing job bringing him back to that day, back to what happened to Michael. She does a really good job.
Right, because all of this
did
talk has nothing to do with
you,
what happened.
Brandon, or Sarah drive on 9th Street?
Say it. Say it again.
no. I know personally I didn't. I cannot speak for Brandon or Sarah. So I don't know. I can't speak for them. Like I said, I will not lie about somebody. Like I told you this morning, I will not lie or speak on somebody's behalf if I don't know the truth to it.
Did you ever stop on 8th in Arizona that night?
Correct. On the way out of the subdivision, we did. We were in the truck. The truck, I always had to put power steering in the truck because the power steering pump was going out. It had the it's called a high pressure gasket ring that connects the power steering hose to the core. Was bad. I didn't fix that until after like a month later. I ended up getting it fixed, but uh, it's called a high pressure seal. There we go, high pressure seal for the power steering. So the power steering had a huge was spraying all over.
I don't care about your
Every
power
probably
steering, dude.
I don't know, probably every 4, 5, 6 hours we had to
Is where he was.
on causing from the power steering.
Okay,
We did stop on Arizona.
so you did stop on 8th in Arizona. What vehicle were you in?
The truck.
Carson's truck or
No, the burgundy truck. Well, my truck, the GMC
I'm
Sierra.
sorry. Okay,
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, okay, you're fine. You're not doing anything wrong. I mean, you're being transparent. You're clearing everything up.
That's all I'm here to do. Want people to know, like I'm not what it seems to be. You know, that's why I'm doing this because I want people to be like, okay, like he's really being serious. You know.
Oh, we know. Trust me, we know you're serious. Okay. Now I want to ask you.
JLR did come in. LR did interview Stacey Wondra, I think, or talk to him when this happened, when it first happened.
Something again, if there's something that you don't feel comfortable answering, then don't.
Okay.
I know several people have talked to Adrian, and he said that he was in a sexual relationship with Sarah.
I didn't find out until Adrian and like there's like sexual relation. Remember her name, but she was the female detective with the long black hair. She had informed me that you're welcome, Pat. She had informed me that Sarah and Adrian had been having a sexual relationship, and that was approached to me when I was in jail. So I didn't know anything about that. I thought it was 100%.
Christy, stop for 1 second. He claims he couldn't see chat, but he just said thank you to somebody in chat. Thank you, Pat. But then he said he couldn't see chat. Right, Kaz? And yet he said thank you again to somebody. So which is it? Can you see chat or can you not, mister?
She put it on the screen. That's how he knew. He said, "Thank you, Pat," because she put on the screen, "Thank you for coming up."
Sarah and Adrian
Okay, I can't see the
having
comments that she's putting up there.
A sexual relationship, and that was approached to me.
I'm sorry.
When I was in jail.
Let me fix it.
I didn't know anything about that. I thought it was 100% just a friendship. I didn't. Then again, like I said, Sarah has been very, very dishonest and deceitful and very ignorant.
Now I can see that.
You know, that must have felt horrible when, you know, you found out the truth about people you trusted.
It was devastating. It wasn't fair. You know, here I am trying to be loyal and faithful to Sarah, you know, the best way I can. You know, we've had our arguments or disagreements or our troubles. I mean, who doesn't in a marriage? I mean, you're bound. I mean, if you don't have troubles or arguments in a marriage, then there's something wrong. You know, I don't. You know, nobody's. Not one perfect. There's not one perfect marriage. You know, without that has absolutely nothing but just solitude and solidity and it's just made 100% of happiness. You know, you're going to have your downfalls. You know, it's just a part of life. And Sarah and I had a lot of those, but never once. I mean, there was never a time that I felt the need to lie to her or hide shit from her. I was open about everything with her.
Did you want to have a child, or was it more Sarah?
It was Sarah. I was in agreement because of her wanting a child. But I even told Sarah, I was like, look, we're not in a financial situation to have a kid right now. I said, so she's like, you know, I've only got a certain time frame left before I can't have kids anymore. I said, I get that. You know, we're going to have a kid. And so that's fine. Like, you know, so I have on that. I don't really know. I just know Sarah is very deceitful, very dishonest, very disloyal, untrusting, violent, very aggressive towards me, like I was telling you this morning, Brooks. Yes.
I promise you, if he is a stinky, nasty man in jail, prison, they're going to come after you. You have to shower, brush your teeth, everything, take care of your hygiene every day in prison, or they will come after you. They don't want to live with no stinky people. They might be criminals, but they don't want to live with stinky people.
That's right. I worked in a prison. I know. They will throw that bar of soap at your ass.
Aggressive and abusive towards me. You know, she held me down on the couch when I was laying down on my stomach. She held me down on the couch with a butcher knife to my throat. Also, a time where she held me at gunpoint with a loaded 12-gauge shotgun with a slug in the chamber. You know, she was not a kosher person. She was a fake.
I like that.
And I told my mom so many times. I was like, Mom, like I'm not comfortable being married to her anymore. And there was times where she was like, what do you need? I said, I just need out. So I mean, and then I would leave, and then something about Sarah would bring me back. It's out of stupidity. It was lost. Um, like it's just very it, it's very hard being in that marriage. But thankfully, uh, I'm not together with her. She tries to call me every now and then from prison. She's currently located in Boise, um, at the South Women's Correctional Facility. I don't remember what the name of it, but um, she's in there because of the things with Tanner. For 3 years. She'll be out. Her parole eligibility date is February 20th of 2026. Um,
Ruffles, I thought her and Brandon, because maybe she couldn't get pregnant with Brandon, or she didn't want to wait. And someone makes a comment also that Stacey says Brandon wouldn't do that. He has a kid. Oh yeah, but guess what? You and your wife doesn't.
pick it out then. That's just when she will see a parole board.
Now, can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
Do you have any opinion why Sarah said you were involved?
Not at all. I know for a fact I wasn't even home. At the time frame that this little boy went missing, or I wasn't home throughout the day. And then there was nothing odd going on at our house even when I got home that night. So it makes no sense at all. Not one piece of it. I know for a fact it wasn't me. So I don't know where she's getting her little ridiculous pieces of information, but they've got the wrong person. I wasn't even home. And like I also told you this morning, Brooks, and I'll let everybody know on here, 3 people got polygraph tests on behalf of my Vaughan. That was Sarah, Brandon, and me. Out of the Sarah and Brandon had failed it. So I just want to put that out there for everybody, just so you guys have an idea. Unfortunately, in the eyes of Idaho, I don't know everybody else, but in the eyes of Idaho law, a polygraph is not admissible in court unless it is deemed that you failed it. So, I don't know. I'm appalled. I'm very appalled. Like I told you this morning as well. I want justice for this little boy. I want this little boy to come back home to his mother and father. It tears me up inside. Badly, because I want.
And dang well with his family.
There he goes with the little boy. Little boy.
Right.
He's got a name. This little boy isn't home. How do you think his mother feels? How do you think Brandy Neal feels? She has a missing son, Michael Vaughan, nickname Monkey. You said his name earlier, perfectly fine. Why do you have to call him the little boy or the kid or the boy?
What is your baby?
I don't have a baby.
He does not cry every day. This dude is such a liar.
If he took my kid, I would kill somebody.
He said that.
Did law enforcement ever ask you where Michael is buried?
Did it what?
Did law enforcement ever ask you where Michael is buried?
Yeah, and I told them I don't have any idea. They asked me about our backyard, and I said that's not even possible. There's no trench marks. There's no dig marks. There's absolutely no. There's nothing. There's not even. There's nothing at all in our backyard. even by the shed that people are questioning about. That shed was there on our property since we moved there. It's June of 2020.
2020. Okay. And when did Adrian move in, approximately?
It's like a year later, I want to say, like June, early July.
Ruffles, and today he said that that Oakley only scratched by the patio, by the back door. You know that little cement patio that they have? That's the only place where she dug up the grass. No other place in the yard, because that was brought up.
Was an issue with, human trafficking.
Time. I don't know. This was in June or early July. Called me and said that, hey, I have a question for you. We need to talk. I have a taxi customer who called me asking if we would just help him out with a ride. He doesn't have any money at the time. But I'm really compelled to help him. He also doesn't have a place to live. He's staying behind a dumpster in Caldwell. Do you feel like we're in a position to help him out? My response to Sarah was this. I said, I do not feel comfortable. I said, our situation. You know that, yes, we do have a heart to help people. We love to help people. But we're not in a financial situation nor a physical ability to take on somebody else's, problems. She then approached me and was like, well, God wants to help him. God's telling me we should help him. I'm like,
That's
what?
right, Ruffles.
Do what
Let
you
it
want
all
to do.
out.
Person that she is, and being the person I am, I suggested and told her that it wasn't okay. But she did anyways, and as a result, he caused us problems.
Like what kind of problems besides?
Apparently he was fucking her behind my back.
Exactly, Ruffles.
Like he
I said, I didn't even know
would
they
try
were dead.
to get us to scam people. Like I was telling you this morning, Brooks, scam people, creating a false or a fake chat line, and then hustling people for their money and taking their money from them through Cash App. Just those.
Okay. I just got back. What is he saying about Cash App? What did I just miss about Cash App? Because didn't he just drop his Cash App today?
Yeah, but he's not talking about that right now. I was in the middle of choking.
Whoops.
So I didn't quite hear, but he was not talking about his.
I know, Ruffles. That's how we started getting on that topic with the behavior.
Those kind of problems, stuff that Sarah and I did a part of. Sarah agreed to help him with it. I didn't, but it also never went anywhere, to my knowledge. And if it did, I sure as hell wasn't aware of it.
Get him a cough drop. A Ricola.
Is there any way I could see the chats that people are leaving, or is that just on your side?
He's really
he's more
worried
concerned
about
about
asking
the
me
chats
questions.
than anything else.
I got you. Okay. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I might be able to figure it out and change. We have one question right here from Jeff. Your house for Michael Vaughan. Carson said Kadabra Dogs alerted at your front door.
Don't have it. So the Kadabra Dogs they didn't hit at the front door. The Kadabra Dogs, from what I'm being told and what I understand, the Kadabra Dogs had hit around the general premises of the neighborhood, like the property. Just just because a Kadabra dog hits a certain on how do I word it? I don't have an answer for that. I guess I don't know. All I know is that I'm being told that the Kadabra dogs hit around the property, but not on the property. If that makes sense.
Now you have to remember in this part that he was in prison when they dug up the yard.
But
So
not
he
for
probably
this.
is going by what he was told in prison. Yeah, for this part right here. When they dug up the yard, he was in prison.
Right, but not for
He
this
just
crime.
got out not long ago. No. He was out.
Like again, the general concept of a neighborhood. Carson, I don't know why Carson would say anything such as the Kadabra dogs alerting, because Carson wasn't even home that day. From what I remember, he was out doing his little painting gig that he does. Carson's a professional painter, so he wasn't even home the night of this disappearance or the day of this disappearance.
Was it day or night?
I don't know, I know Carson wasn't there at all that day. Is what I'm trying to say. Has full-time work job, But I also know, and I found this out through the detective as well, that Carson also are registered sex offenders. I didn't find that out until after.
Well, do you have any conversations with Carson? Let's say a few days before Michael disappeared.
About what?
Oh, anything.
I mean, Carson and I talked all the time, specifically mainly about mechanic stuff.
Okay.
Or him and I like to go, shooting. We would go shoot gophers down at off of Pearl Road. It's like going towards Parma. There's a giant piece of property where people go ride their dirt bikes, or people there. I mean, it's just filled with gophers. Or whistle pigs. So we'd go shoot gophers. So I don't know. I mean, 90% of the conversation with Carson was legitimately mechanic questions or mechanic conversations.
Well, and you guys are friends. He tried to basically disassociate himself from you and Sarah and the house, but Sarah said that Michael was buried in his backyard, and that's not the case.
It makes no fucking sense. Again, where I want law enforcement to sit there and show everybody. I want them to show pictures of the grass. I want them to show the evidence, the grounds penetrating surveillance. I want them to show where they see that there was a hole dug. For a fact that if you're going to dig a hole on a property, on some even grass of any sort, anything, it could be anywhere, you're going to leave a dirt trail. It's common sense. You're not going to just dig a hole and have absolutely no residue from it. No remaining dirt left on the ground.
Well, I wonder who told them that, because Michael disappeared in July of 2021, and they started the dig in November of 2022. Mm-hmm. Obviously, say between rains and snow and grass growing back over, there wouldn't be.
Right, there wouldn't be anything left over.
I have no idea. It makes me appalled.
Well, Sarah, I can't say Sarah said it. I can't say that.
Plenty of time for the grass to grow and things to go back to normal again on that ground.
Because it's just rumors around the internet. Did Sarah change her clothes that day after towing the car? Was there any missing clothes of Sarah's?
No. Sarah wore the same. Sarah literally wears one pajamas. I'm not gonna lie, we slept naked together, so there was no really pajamas. But we had company. We had Brandon that was staying there. We also had Adrian, so she wasn't gonna walk out in the room naked neither way. So we put clothes on. But we didn't get dressed for
Brandon
that.
is the one that she wanted to have a baby with,
Right.
and Adrian lived with them also, and was a known trafficker. And the other one, I think it's the neighbor that was a sex offender. Please
You know
correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe the neighbor was a sex offender.
what I mean? We didn't get dressed till later on. So
Well, see, so Brandon said that, I mean, him and Sarah had breakfast that morning and then head out
Yeah.
and
They're
went to the
what?
mall,
What'd you say they did?
had breakfast.
No, we had breakfast at our house that morning, if I remember right.
Oh,
Sarah
yeah, I
made,
assumed it was your
yeah,
house.
yeah, no, I don't, yeah, no. Sarah literally wore one outfit that day. I don't, yeah, she's not the type of person where she changes her clothes 100 times a day.
Unlike me, I can't make my mind up.
Sometimes have that issue too, and I'm a dude.
No, I do. I mean, especially during certain types of weather, it'll be cold in the morning or cooler because I live in Oklahoma, and then I'll have shorts on in the afternoon, and then I go to pajamas in the evening. It's a hell of a load of laundry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you have a dog?
Yeah, I had my dog. Her name was Oakley. It's the one that you see pictures with on Facebook. The little brown and black dog.
Okay, so
That's Oakley.
I wasn't quite sure if that was your dog or you were babysitting a dog because I
No,
heard that you guys had a dog business as well. That could be a rumor
Dog business? No.
because
Never
there
had a
was
dog business a day in my life. No.
okay. Did your dog ever dig anything up in the backyard?
No. She was a hound dog. Hound dogs dig. So she was always digging a hole in the backyard. It didn't matter where the spot was. I mean, anywhere in the backyard, she would tear it up. It's just how hound dogs are. They do that. I never trained her differently. I always thought that I was like, okay, well, you're, doing what you got to do, but she never dug anything up. No. She was a digger, yes, but did she dig anything up? No.
All right. A lot of people have questions about the trip to Texas.
Ask them away. Let's get them done with.
Okay. Well, hang on. Let's start with this. Give me a second.
One.
Sarah said on October 7th that you were out of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Was that on the way there or on the way back?
On the way there.
Okay. I assumed you all were on your way back. I apologize.
No, I was on the way there.
Okay, so you were in Melrose, New Mexico.
Oh no, it's raining again.
Okay, and she said that you checked yourself out. You had no discharge papers. And that
I don't remember.
I just find it funny, you guys, the things that he remembers in great detail down to the second, yet he can't remember what they were in the hospital for, him or Sarah.
I don't remember exactly what the reasoning was. I literally went in there to get checked to see what was going on because I was having a very hard time breathing. As you know, I was a very big guy. a lot bigger than what I am now. And so I think a lot of it had to do with the temperature change, the climate, the air. It was than what I was used to. So that was why I'd gone to the hospital, because I was having a very hard time breathing.
So explain the trip, why you went all the way down there.
Okay, so Sarah and I had been doing a little bit of so there's a gal in Boise. I think she still lives there. Her name is Amy Church. There's a gal that Sarah and I connected with. She had posted an ad initially on Craigslist years ago, back in 2021, I think, or I don't remember. But she had posted an ad on Craigslist saying that she's looking for somebody to deliver a puppy to Grants Pass, Oregon.
Where's
So
that?
Grants Pass, Oregon.
How far is that from Fruitland?
I mean, it's clear on the other side of like the other side of Portland. So probably 8 hours, 9 hours. If I had to guess, I haven't looked it up. I don't have a way to look it up on the map, but right now, I'm on the video. But
you idiot.
pretty sure it's like an 8 or 9 hour drive. So
He has no way to
Did
look
you ask
it
me
up.
to pause it?
What about Google these days?
He's on his phone. He's saying he doesn't know how to look it up while he's on StreamYard on his phone, which if you do, it'll probably drop you anyway. You would need a second device while he's
Well, he
on
can't look it
StreamYard
up
to
right
look it
at
up.
this moment.
Seriousness. Right. That's what he's saying. He thinks it's 8 to 9 hours because he can't look it up at that moment on his phone. That's what he was talking about.
Well, he's still an idiot.
we had agreed to do it because she was willing to pay us like $500 or $600. We also took the truck that night to Grants Pass, Oregon, because we also found a guy on Craigslist that needed his full behind camper towed to Walla Walla. Walla Walla was on the way to Grants Pass, Oregon. So Sarah, Brandon, and me, and this guy and the dog, and then this guy we picked up for the camper, that had the camper, all drove to Grants Pass, or well, drove to Walla Walla, dropped him off in his camper, and then we continued the drive to Grants Pass, Oregon, dropped off the black lab puppy, and then headed back home. That was for that. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you all is, we did a lot of, we tried to do what we could to serve our community. The trip, as far as the trip to Texas goes, so we initially gone to Texas because we were offered, it was like $1,200 or $1,400. She tried to give us a quote of $1,000. We were like, no, we're not going to do it for $1,000. Like, we need to account for this trip. The gas is going to take, the food, the hotel stay, and then the trip. So okay, that's fine. So she gave us the remainder once we picked up the dog, which she did. On the way to Texas, I don't remember. It started with an L. It was a small city in Texas.
Laredo, maybe? I don't know. It's the only thing I could think of.
What city is he talking about in Texas?
We ended up encountering, it was on a 2-lane highway.
He said it was a little town in Texas that started with an L. So Laredo is the only thing I could think of.
Well, it could be like Lubbock, Laredo. It could be like Lumberton. It can be like a lot of cities.
Okay, don't bust my bubble. I want it to be Laredo. Okay.
Whatever. A lot of towns start with L. I lived in Texas.
We encountered a
I lived in Houston in 98 and 99.
why we took the muddy road. So to answer your guys' question is we ended up taking the detour. Yep, there you go. Took the detour. The detour literally was off the main highway or the main 2-lane highway. We took the detour because there's a fatality. Took the detour, and then like a quarter mile down the detour road, there was another detour sign that pointed to the.
Okay, so they took a detour and then another detour. Blah blah blah. What town were you in?
Right. We took that road, which was the road that the photo was just pictured. Showed up on. Um, uh, but we tried to go through it.
Look this up.
Stuck. We didn't know what to do. I mean, there was no way I was just how deep the car was stuck.
No, go ahead with. We'll get to that question next.
Okay. So I called the tow truck company. The first one I called, they were trying to quote us like $250 to bring a tow truck out to our location and pull us out. And I was like, well, that's not going to work because we need all the money we can get to get back. So, to get to the rest of our destination, go pick up the dog and then go back. So after
Okay, Christy, there's 170 cities that start with L in Texas.
by making a couple more calls, I was willing to come and help. I just explained to him, I was like, we're struggling, we're stuck. Got us stuck in this road, muddy hole or whatever, muddy pit. I just hang tight. I'll come in, get you out of there. So out of the kindness, this guy drove over in his Toyota 4Runner, pulled up in front. At that point, we then continued on with our trip. And we carried on to go get the dog. I think it was the next day that we ended up getting the dog. And then stayed at the hotel overnight and then drove back.
Well, now Sarah made several TikToks from the hotels, but we couldn't hear a dog. Did the dog was the dog sleeping?
Yeah, the dog literally, she was older, so she slept a lot. Like there was nothing like that dog aside from Oakley, my dog. That dog was ridiculously crazy, like silent. There was like never even yelped, never whined. That dog was the best dog I've ever seen in my life, and that's just like me being brutally honest. I've never seen anything like it. The dog didn't whine, didn't like make a peep, doesn't even bark.
Okay, finally unmuted me. Did he just say that dog was better than Oakley? Oakley was the best dog. Remember, he loved the dog more than he loved his wife.
Well, she sounds like she loved every other man but him.
At all. Even when she had to use the bathroom, I mean, she would, we knew she had to use the bathroom because she would stand up. But she never even wanted to go outside or anything.
Speaking of Oakley, who has Oakley now?
Oakley was Sarah. When I went to jail, when Sarah got out on pretrial, Sarah gave Oakley to a guy named Victor, who was also a guy that we had taken to. He had posted an ad on Craigslist looking for a ride to uh, um, Portland to go start a fresh life. So we responded to it. As you guys probably are aware, we did a lot of Craigslist gigs. So you're probably going to know a lot about. That's where most of these come from, is Craigslist. So we took Victor to Portland, and then he ended up. We stayed in contact with him throughout the the next couple of years, and then he came back to Idaho and did some taxi rides for us. And then when I got arrested and Sarah got released on pretrial, sorry, Sarah gave Victor got drunk one night, and Victor was living out of his vehicle with Oakley, working at Walmart, working graveyard shift, and Victor had drank like 240s. I don't know what they were. I don't really care. Drank two beers that night, the 40-ounce beers. I think they were Steel Reserve or some shit, and then got pretty much drunk. Had let Oakley out to use the bathroom in the Walmart parking lot area. And then passed out drunk. Oakley was then picked up and a couple, I guess, or people, and was brought to the local Humane Society as a stray. Victor inquired, I guess, because this is what Victor told me like a week or two ago. That signed form saying that Oakley was given
About Brandon's interview with JLR.
Oh, as far as that question goes?
Yeah.
Sorry, my PO texted me. He's very off on his information. There's always two sides to every story. Unfortunately, in this story, there's multiple everybody has their own. I know for a fact that when I'm to anybody, I don't have a reason to lie to anybody. I'm on here specifically to clear my name with you guys because I know there's a lot of questions.
Well, and we're getting through them. I mean, one thing, I didn't know what to expect when I talked to you because, Brandon kept saying, you have such a slow IQ, and that, I mean, you're basically, you can't even form a sentence, really.
He's retarded. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. I'm trying to offend anybody.
Because, I mean, you have a great memory.
I do my best. I mean, yes, I struggle with mental diagnoses. I was born with them, but I've also been in group homes a lot of my life to better myself, to be a better part and functional member in society. So I've overcome a lot of those troubles. So that's why I am the way I am today. But as far as his videos, like, there's something off with Brandon. A lot of things are off with him. He's not consistent with his information. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And he's this shit I've ever fucking met in my life.
Well, when did you start thinking that there was something not right with him?
I mean, I always knew he was off, but I didn't know he was that off. I really didn't realize liking his fucking videos and, listening to his bullshit fucking
It's frozen. Or paused or something.
What? You talking to me?
No.
That's what I'm talking about.
No. Christy. Christy, can you hear me? I think so. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I think she froze then. I think she kicked herself out. So. One more time. Damn it.
I'm back. Let's see.
When you're enjoying your opinion dip.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what happened. I'm back. I was talking to you. I was like, Sherry, you must... All right,
No,
here we
you
go.
were
I'm sorry
not.
about that, you guys.
No, you were not. You were not here.
I really am.
I love
I guess
French
if I
onion dip.
present
That's
it
my
to share
favorite.
screen, then it might work.
I love to dip my ruffles in it.
I was wondering why you said opinion dip. How long was I gone for? Because I swore I was here the
For
whole
a
time.
long ass time. Okay, well, not
No, I
that long,
was.
but
Every time you said
no,
Christy,
it was for a couple minutes.
sorry.
That dog was my life. I would die for Oakley. I would die for her. I would literally, if somebody were to shoot her, I would jump in front of that bullet.
Yep. There's your puppy dog.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he
I mean, look
was
how happy
much
she is. You
bigger.
can see she's even smiling. Look at that. Smiling at the dog.
That is a cute dog.
Yeah, she's smiling. Now, did Adrian ever go to Portland with you?
No. Never.
Okay.
I was about to ask that
I miss
same
that dog
question.
so much.
That girl said if he wants to, he can explain his childhood in group home.
So my childhood was relatively rough. I was born with fetal alcohol syndrome, which is, I don't know if any of y'all know, fetal alcohol syndrome is just it affects your frontal lobe of your brain, specifically on the right side. Frontal fetal alcohol syndrome affects your cognitivity, the way your impulse control, your impulse decisions. I was angry that I didn't start going to group homes until I was 11. Um, I started developing symptoms when I was like 9 or 10, but we couldn't figure it out until after we had me tested by a neuropsychological doctor. Um, I um, grew up in Montana, just so you guys all know. I'm sure you guys probably know that. But for those of you who don't know,
is there a lot of snow there? And
oh my god, oh
is
my
there
god,
a lot of big mountains?
yeah, they just got dumped on with snow. Guess what my buddy said? Like he said, they got hammered with snow. Just yesterday, and the day before. So yeah, it gets cold. It gets like -29 or -35 degrees. It's cold. Cold.
Now, what is the elevation?
Exactly. I know they're connected. Montana, Boise, the area I lived in, was we were connected to the mountains pretty much. We lived.
Now, how were Adrian and Brandon paying for their rooms, and who did they pay?
What do you mean?
I mean, did they pay?
Brandon told us he's going to pay us, but he never did. We ended up forking out more money for him than he forked out for us. Any money that Brandon would get, he would go blow it on weed or alcohol. Holy fuck. Oh my god.
What's wrong?
Sorry. No, my phone's blowing up. Girlfriend keeps calling 100 times.
Well, good for you, hot stuff.
Do what I can. No. But
Times said he looks so healthy, not so unhappy anymore.
Thank you, DC. Appreciate you. I'm trying. So yeah, I don't. Brandon would blow any money that I got on literally weed or alcohol. For gas, home billers, court fines. But he never paid for his stuff. I mean, he's reliant on us, very much so.
Okay, this is going to be a tough question, and you don't have to answer it. How sleeping together to get her pregnant, which would be like an ovulation cycle, but you said it went on for like a week. Mm-hmm. I mean, how did you break it up? How did you tell them, to quit being with each other?
I just told Sarah that she needed to stop or I was going to leave. So she stopped, but I guess did it behind my back when I wasn't aware of it. So.
And how did you meet Adrian?
On the taxi ride.
Oh, sorry. I was just reading something from the chat.
Okay.
I apologize. The chat's moving fast.
Oh, it's okay. I wish I could see the chat too. Like I want to see what people are, I want to answer them as they come,
Okay.
I don't know. There's probably no.
Russell says, Brooks, you're doing great with this interview. I'm a nervous wreck and I'm just a chatter. ICU said, so Brandon was to get Sarah pregnant. Stacey, okay. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So I mean, like I was saying earlier, it was literally, I didn't advise Sarah that we wouldn't be trying to have a kid because of our financial situation. So in short, I okayed it because I wanted her to be happy.
Okay, I'm waiting for the next question.
Is that the next question?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nope. And I really don't care to tell her. I mean, it's whatever. Like, she wants to be a hoe, then I'm gonna let her be a hoe, and I'm gonna do my thing. Like, I'm gonna fucking take care of myself. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna make myself be happy. Um, there's no reason I should have to deal with being unhappy, and I'm very unhappy with our marriage.
Well, when did you realize that you were infertile? Did you get tested?
Mm-hmm.
When did you guys stop trying to have a baby?
I mean, we never stopped trying to we stopped really having sex after I found out that she got herpes. So,
is that what's between her fingers?
Her fingers? No. So Sarah.
Hold on a second, you guys. Whenever she shows this picture of Sarah's hands, blow it up if you can to look in between her fingers.
And she would dig at her. She would dig with a pen between her fingers.
When did that start?
Years ago. She's been doing it. I mean, since I've been married to her.
That is disgusting.
Because it looks very sore. How did she get herpes? What did she take for it? Do you know?
She hasn't gotten cured for it. That's why I haven't had intimacy since she got diagnosed with it. I told her I wasn't doing that.
Wait, you can get that between your fingers?
I don't know if you can or if you can't. I've never had it, but
I haven't either.
He's saying that that's not what this is, and obviously she's had this on her fingers before she got herpes. Yeah, she did, Ruffles. That's why when she showed the picture, it is. He said that she's got nervousness and she would dig ink pens right there, and dig in her fingers right there with ink pens, and that's where all that came from.
It has to be for something else.
As far as her knuckles and shit go, she's been doing that for years.
So an ink pen she would dig between her knuckles?
I don't know.
Correct. That's what that.
Okay, because I was wondering about that because there's other ones where she just has the same ring and it's just between the ring finger and the middle finger.
Mm-hmm. No.
Now, who stayed at your house after you and Sarah were arrested?
Randy Strickland was there. He was the guy, another taxi customer.
Those actually look like scabs in between the fingers. Oh, you let us know what you find out.
I am so sorry to bring this up right now, but he just said someone's last name was Strickland. Isn't that the name of the propane company on King of the Hill in Texas? Is Strickland Propane Company? I don't know. I just had to bring.
I don't know. I watched a couple of episodes, but I don't really know.
Well, and I mean, do you know why Sarah?
Do I know?
Oh, can you hear me? Do we have a bad connection?
No, I know. I got you. I was just trying to process what you were saying.
Well, I've read his name several times. So wasn't quite sure how forthcoming.
Yep. Randy was just another taxi customer. He RVs and campers from Gresham, Indiana or whatever. I don't remember where it was, but where the major synergy synergy places, RV capital of the world. He would haul trailers for them, and he consuming alcohol or having a couple of beers, and then got in a car accident. And rolled his truck and rolled the customer's camper. So he called us for a ride and Oregon, and brought him back, and he stayed a couple nights at our house. And then a couple days later, we were in a little U-Haul trailer, because that's when we had the Escalade, the white Escalade that you guys see pictures of. And we rented a U-Haul little utility trailer and had to go pick up some of his stuff out of his truck, like his toolbox and his belongings, from the impound lot where the truck went, the wrecking yard.
Where was that at?
In Burns, Oregon.
In Burns, Oregon? Okay.
Burns, Oregon, yeah.
I just appreciate you being so honest.
Not a problem.
Pat K has a question. She wants to know if you're cooperating with law.
You guys.
Well, no, today you said they really won't talk to you anymore. Maybe it's because they're done with you.
It's my interviews with them, so I don't really have anything else to offer them. I don't know anything other than what I've told them and told you guys. So,
Christy, I haven't had dinner yet.
When Brandon said,
You can go. You can go eat if you need to. I'm sorry, I thought you ate already.
No, I don't want to
just
eat
ate.
with that comment now.
While I was live. Oh, sorry. I get it now.
Oh, yeah.
Whitlow finger, but not a single photo shows it in between the fingers, and it doesn't look like that. Oh, maybe
Well, then what
Google
the heck
herpes
is
in
it?
between your fingers and see if it looks like that. It might be herpes. It looks like little clusters. I don't know.
they had to go get some milk at the convenience store. Did you see any
Well, then it can't be Whitlow finger now, can it?
with milk?
no.
Kaz, are you finally looking at the pictures?
LRG.
I know. I watched some of his videos. I like.
All right, so you're cooperating with law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Stormy said Brandon and Sarah failed the polygraphs.
I'm gonna look up. You did
And Stacey
this.
think of anywhere they could have put Monkey
Oh yeah, it is.
that law enforcement hasn't looked.
Like I was warning, if I knew anything about this appearance, I had any suspicion about it, I had any relative knowledge, I would have been the first person to go say something to law enforcement. I wouldn't have held back. I'm not okay with him disappearing at all.
Didn't you, Sarah, just adopt a child? Now, are you aware that Sarah had
We posted that there together. That was specifically because to show support. Just like I told you, posting the his profile picture on my Facebook. That was literally to show support, just like people were doing the blue lights. It was all to show support. It was just in support in favor of Michael.
Well, is there anything that you've told the police that isn't quite true?
Not at all.
Oh,
You haven't lied to the police at all just because you were nervous or scared?
Not one bit. I gave the police and the detectives everything I could. What I'm telling you guys is what I told the detectives.
Have they made you give any kind of, statement or confession?
No.
Or tried to?
Yeah. But I don't know anything. I given them everything that I could. And I think they see that now, which is why they're not questioning.
They interrogate you? I know you said you passed the polygraph and they told you that Sarah and Brandon failed theirs. When did they tell you that?
I found out the same day. Because they tried calling my mom and asking her if she thought I would have anything to do with it. She was like, absolutely not. And they told my mom that, Stacey took a polygraph test and he passed, and Sarah and Brandon failed theirs. So that was relayed by the detective to my mom. My mom told me.
Oh, wow. She must be.
She's hurt. She's devastated. I'm not even having to go through all this. But
Have you ever?
Go
ahead. You're the guest.
I will tell you they're in over their heads, and they're looking at a very, very, very hefty lawsuit. I just want to let people know that.
was that a threat? I just want y'all to know that if they come after me, I'ma sue you. Don't come after me, I will sue you.
Who's in for a lawsuit?
Everybody, all the people that are the law enforcement agencies, the FBI, they're all in over their heads right now, especially over something thinking that all. And I can tell you that the only shit that they have right now is hearsay. It's he said this, she said that. The detectives played me a couple of video clips when they interviewed me of with like Sarah's stepmom or Sarah's foster mom, how Sarah's foster mom was like, oh, Sarah told me that Stacey. So it's all literally hearsay. There's nothing. There's no all the video clips that they played. Even my lawyer was like, "This is pathetic." He goes, "They literally have nothing on you, and they're not gonna have anything on me. I was not part of that, and I would never."
I feel like maybe he wasn't part of it, but I feel like he knows something.
Be a part of that. I would never associate with that. I would have literally probably, if I would have known if somebody had done that and I'd known that person, I would have killed them.
That abducted Michael.
I think they should be punished for the rest of their life. I think they should rot in prison. I think they should suffer and reap what they did. Absolutely.
Now, did you talk to any inmates when you were in jail about the abduction of Michael Vaughan?
It was self-explanatory. I was all over the news. I just told people that I wasn't going to talk about it because it's anybody could turn a story around or twist it. There's just there. Yeah, I was questioned about it numerous times, but I wouldn't answer questions. Not to anybody like that. It's not their fucking business.
The people in jail.
Correct.
Well, did Brandon try to get an alibi after the interviews?
I have no idea. I don't have an answer to that. I don't know. I wasn't part of him being in questions.
there's anything you could say to the family of Michael Vaughan, what would you say?
I would say that I am extremely sorry that your little boy was abducted, and I would want them to know that if I ever a, a person, if this person was found that did this, that comes from the bottom of my heart. I'm sorry, Brandy, and I'm sorry, Tyler, and I wish and I pray every day, and I cry, and
Liar, liar, pants on fire, because there you go with little boy again.
that this
As a suspect?
they things. I know for
Space.
no idea. I don't know. I know that the crawl space literally consisted of an empty firearm box.
Oh, say that again. I'm sorry, you cut out.
Brandon, or sorry, I don't know why he's blamed or he's fixed on the crawl space, but I can tell you that there was nothing in that crawl space beside an empty firearm box.
I can tell you that there's nothing in the empty crawl space.
And to answer your question, Pat, always say the first TV, I will only speak the truth and what I know. But it is bullshit that he blames me.
And want you to meet him for an alibi?
No, never. Not once.
Now let's talk about Sarah's behavior and Brandon's and Adrian's after July 27th.
Okay. What do you want to know?
How did it change?
I only noticed Sarah's demeanor changing after this all went down, and I noticed, like I was telling you this morning, I noticed that she was posting a lot of God videos. She was, I don't, she was just, her whole demeanor changed. Everything was off about her after this, and I didn't really thinking about it. Like, I thought she was just, this is something in like a new phase or something. Like,
Yes, Ruffles, yes.
But
I absolutely agree with you on that, Ruff.
I don't know. I didn't realize what she came from.
I think it's frozen again. Yep. She broke it. I'm here all by myself now. So now we have to wait for her to come back. So what y'all want to do while we sit here and wait? I think she wanted this one to end at 8 o'clock, so she's almost to the mark. Because she has another one starting at 9. So in about an hour. And I need a break in between these two. So if you're not aware, the next one... Actually, I closed the window. Hold on. The next one's in an hour. And it's the Teenage Master Manipulator. Feud with Grandparents. I don't know who it's about. That's just what it says. The thumbnail just says Teenage Master Manipulator, Feud with Grandparents. I don't know who it is. Okay, well, we'll just sit here and wait for her to come back. We have patience. Right, Kaz? I didn't like this guy from the beginning. You can shove your ums up your rear end. And I cry every night for him. No, you don't. You said you live your life to the fullest. He is more like sniffed out. They sniffed him out. And I want to know why he's not sitting in jail.
I'm back. Record the film. Like tonight. All right, let's go back to the.
Oh, well, welcome back. How much longer of this one? How much longer of this one do we have? Because you have another one in an hour.
You. Oh, a little bit less than. I know. I had it scheduled for right now, but I had to reschedule it because it's taking longer. But I'm just gonna play it. There's
Because I need a
40
break between
minutes
this one
left.
and what?
Her demeanor changed. I don't know.
And I don't mean to get into your business, but I mean, with fetal alcohol syndrome, can it cause someone to act without thinking of the consequences? Is that part of the diagnosis?
All right, Ronnie, you have a great night.
Like impulse control.
Thank you for coming.
But I've been in group homes almost. I was in for.
Go ahead. Carrie?
I told Ronan good night and thank you for coming. She's going to bed.
And exercised every amount of counseling and therapy that I could to be who I am today. So I know I would not make a decision like that. No. Even impulsively. I mean, no matter how bad of a position I was in or how bad Sarah wanted a kid, you've got me fucked up if you think that I'm going to go through and try to do something like that.
Was it a huge argument with you guys? Her wanting a child?
Mm.
I don't mean to say huge argument.
No, I mean, it wasn't really an argument. It was just
no neck Ed right there from 90 Day
you know, me like me telling her that it's a good idea.
That was funny, Sherry. That was a good one.
Well,
did Brandon ever bring guests over to your house?
No. Brandon didn't have a whole lot of friends. So, I mean, he had friends, but nobody that had access to a vehicle.
So did they just come over?
What do you mean? No, he never had guests over.
Okay. Why was he the only person, according to him, that was allowed to have, excuse me, I'm getting choked. I'm getting dry mouth too. Let me get some water. Why was he the only person that was allowed to drink alcohol in the house?
He wasn't. He's stupid. I drank alcohol. Sarah consumed alcohol. Brandy consumed alcohol. We all drank, but I just drank. Sarah and I drank at a whole nother level than Brandon. Like, Brandon would get plastered drunk. I would drink 1 or 2 beers and be good.
Did law enforcement ever talk to you before November of 2022?
They came and did interviews with us, yeah. They interviewed us at the house, asking if we seen anything, asking if we know anything. No, we don't. I don't even know this person.
So this is a weird question, and you don't have to answer it. Again, if you're not comfortable, don't do it.
Okay.
If Sarah had had a child or was pregnant, would she stop having sex with Adrian or Brandon?
That type of girl.
I don't know
that woman who demanded
Michael Vaughan.
Who required sexual attention, and I wasn't going to give it to her. So I don't know. You know, she apparently wanted to find us elsewhere. So, you know, I mean, it's a shitty feeling. It sucks, but you know, she was going to do what she was going to do regardless of my opinion. So, what are my feelings?
She disconnected again.
All right. Well, Arizona and 8th Street, a scene.
No, it's probably like I don't know, like a tenth of a mile.
I had sepsis too.
But even still, I don't know how or why he would even be seen in our neighborhood when he lives completely on the other side of the subdivision. So I don't, or the other side of it, in a different neighborhood. From what I understand, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you told me where the Vaughan family lives. Let's look at 8th in Arizona.
Yep. 8th in Arizona. 8th. So you see where the Vaughan family, this says Vaughan family home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all the housing that's below that, you see before the patch of the gray pasture right there. So all the housing that's before that, in between the gray pasture and the Vaughan family home. So that's 8th Street right there. That little road that goes, you'll see there's one road going straight down that connects all the way to the green pasture at the end on the left. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, so you literally, So Arizona is that road that is right after all those houses on the left.
Well, where were you coming from that you had to put in power steering fluid?
Outside of the subdivision. So we drove exited our subdivision and pulled off. You see that entrance on the right? So right across from the green pasture, right? On the big piece of green pasture on the left side of I don't know if you see it the same way I do, but the only big green, dark green pasture that's right there on the left. Okay, that road right there that divides the housing on where I says searching and the road, and then there's that green pasture. So that little road there, you pull out of the subdivision. We literally pulled off to the side of the road, right there at the corner. There's like a stop sign at that road, and we pulled off before the stop sign.
Now, what were Sarah and Brandon doing when you were working on the truck?
Sitting in the truck.
They didn't get out?
No, they didn't need to get out. There was a quick fix. We just had to put power steering fluid in.
Okay. Cat Toe said, "Is that the same truck you took to deliver the puppy?"
Correct. Yep. The puppy to Grants Pass, yes. But we took her car to Texas. But I think she's referring to Grants Pass.
Okay. Now, did you see Sarah and Brandon, or just Brandon, search the field near the river?
Did I see him what?
Search the field near the river.
No, I didn't see him at all. I wasn't with them when they went searching, remember? I was trying to get the truck and the car detached.
Well, I'm just answering questions as they come in. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm answering as they come in. Like, I wasn't even with them that night. When I got back, they went to go look for Michael, and I was trying to get the car separated, detached from the truck.
Well, now, what time did you put the fluid in the truck?
Between 6 and 6:15.
Okay, I got you. Did Sarah or Brandon ever mention the Vaughan family before he disappeared?
No, never.
I just wonder how Carson knew exactly where
Says donation for Hunter. I'll watch it tonight.
they lived and where Brandy Neal works.
I have no idea. That's news to me.
Yeah, Brandon said they were driving and getting milk.
No, they were on foot. They couldn't even exit the parking, the driveway. There was no car. I mean, they couldn't get the car out. And they never brought home milk that night, Christina.
Okay, because I wouldn't.
Like I got not semi trucks, but you know what I mean. Like I can drive big rig. Like I don't know how to do it all.
Now, what about the mall and Applebee's?
I don't know anything about it. I know that's took Adrian and Brandon. They all took a trip early that morning to go take Adrian to go see his kid in Boise. But I'm not exactly sure what day that was. But Adrian wanted to bring her kid to him, bring the kid to him. Um, But Adrian or Brandon and Sarah were the only people that went.
Now, what about the water at your house? Because Brandon said he had to get his own water from his mother's house.
He's so stupid. He drank so much water at our house. He's stupid. He's lying, guys. Like, do not believe him at all. He is no.
All right, so that day you did a taxi run from Ontario to Boise.
Correct.
Now, what?
I was gone at least from like I think I left the house at like 1, and I didn't get back to like 3:30 or 4.
3:30 or 4.
Correct.
Where did you guys go after 4 o'clock? Because you said around 6:15 at Southwest and 8th is when you put the power steering fluid in.
For Arizona and 8th, yes.
No, I'm sorry.
We were at home. Brandon, Sarah, and I were at home.
Oh, so you went home and left again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes, correct. We had gone home because we had to go get the truck. I didn't have the truck with me. You know what I mean? Like so I had to go home. As I went home, Sarah was already there with Brandon. And oh my God, Jesus, I'm up. And so we had to get we had to come home. Brandon then asked us if we would help him get his car from Cuna. At that point, we agreed, and so we hopped in the truck, and I put the tow strap and everything in the back, and we left.
Okay. All right. Why would he go to Kuna, where his mother lives, to get water if he was drinking water at your house all the time?
It wasn't. It makes no sense. There's that night we towed the vehicle or went to go pick the vehicle up. He literally, I asked Brandon for a bottle of water because we didn't have any water with us, and I was thirsty. But so Brandon got me a couple bottles of water along with him and Sarah. But Brandon always drank the water in our house. There was nothing wrong with it. It was good water. I mean, we used our refrigerator water because we have a filter on it and stuff. So there was absolutely nothing wrong with the water. I've seen Brandon drink water a million times at our house.
And I probably have already forgotten who was driving.
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay. I'm just confused because I have very bad night vision.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad. And so why not wait till it's daylight to tow the car? Was there something imperative that Brandon had to have his car there?
Brandon was very impulsive when it came to his questions or his decisions. Worse than me, way worse. So he'd been asking us for a couple days to help him, at least a week, and we've been putting it off. Finally, we're just like, fuck it, we'll just get it over with. I think that's why we did it that night, just because we're so done with him hounding us about it,
So you just caved. You just caved.
We're just like, fuck it, just go get it and get it over with.
Who pays for the jail calls when Sarah calls you? Because she's been calling a lot.
She does. I haven't put any money on her books. Her mom puts money on her books.
Well, now, has Sarah ever towed a car before?
No, she wanted to learn, and so I was like, the only way to learn is just doing. So let's do this, and I guided her. I told her what she needed to do, and she did it. So,
and why on earth is she calling you? You guys are in the midst of a divorce.
I don't know. I've told her, and I don't hardly. I just want to see how you're doing today. Okay. And
But I mean, you guys are in the midst of a divorce.
She calls me every day, and 90% of them are done. 98% of the time, I don't even answer. And I've told her I told her that I want a divorce, so I don't know why she doesn't grasp that. But
I mean, between Kuna and Fruitland, did you guys stop anywhere?
Sarah had to use the restroom, so we stopped. We had took the back road to Fruitland, the old highway from I think it's called the Black Canyon Highway, I think. But we had stopped on the Eagle Road. I don't remember what road it was exactly, but we had stopped and pulled over for a second because the tow strap came undone. It snapped because Sarah jolted the truck and snapped the tow strap. So I had to, we had to pull over, and then I had to reattach or tie the tow strap back together. And then Sarah, I think, used the restroom on the side of the road, like she usually did when we had no access to a restroom. But then that was the only time we had stopped.
I mean, why didn't she use the bathroom at Brandon's mom's house?
She did.
Oh, okay.
Bladder is ridiculous. I got somebody else to pee as much as her.
Yeah, well, you haven't met me.
Maybe not.
My friend Kat, who's in here, she'll tell you I'm like a turtle. If you touch me, I've got to pee.
Gotta pee.
Well, I think you're doing great and being very.
I want people to know, I'm not this evil monster that people are making me out to be. I can't be that person. I physically do not have the capability, or mentally.
So Brandon's.
Ouch.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Brandon's, I guess, ex-employer said he's basically like a Ted Bundy. He's a psycho.
I said that.
Mhm.
Oh, I mean, it's news to me too. I I don't know the exact definition of a psychopath, but I know it's not good. Um, I don't know. Brandon is not mentally stable.
Well, when you were at Brandon's mom's house, you said Sarah used the bathroom. Did she walk in the front door, or how did she get in?
Through the garage.
Those garage doors that you hit the button and the door comes up, or is it one of those like where you pull it up?
No, it was the garage door button.
Who had the garage door opener?
He knows the code to the little thing that's on the side of the garage that opens the garage door. The pin you put in. Code opener.
Is there any cameras on his mom's house?
Yeah, on the front, but it doesn't cover the. She went through the far side of the garage, and she only has cameras on the front of her door.
And that was the day that Michael was abducted.
Yes.
Okay.
The day Michael was abducted, I can't talk. Stacey brought Sarah and Brandon to his parents' house to get the vehicle. They went in the house through the garage where there's no cameras. And why is that? That's just kind of, it doesn't sit well with me what he said.
Wow.
Oh man. Brandon burned a lot of bridges with his mom. Burned a lot. He stole from her, took from her. lied to her numerous times. He just burned a lot of bridges.
Do you know if Brandon and Sarah went to any prayer vigils?
What's a prayer vigil?
When people around the community get together and
like a prayer group?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. I know they with when he disappeared, but I think Sarah pretty much did her prayer vigils on her own, to be honest.
Sounds like it in the driveway would going nuts.
I mean, honestly, it was a shock to me. Like I was like, what the fuck? But she's not mentally there. I don't know. I've never seen her act that way. So
did she ever say to you that she saw Brandy Neal crying?
No, not once.
And you know who Brandy Neal is?
His mom, yeah. I just did a shout out, remember?
Yeah, I know. Just making sure. I know you're tired, you're yawning, so.
Oh man, I'm burnt. I'm tired.
Do you think maybe they hid from the cameras going into the garage? And where were you when they were going in?
I was in the truck waiting where I normally should have been. I don't have a bladder problem like Sarah does. So I didn't have to.
No, I didn't ask that.
I don't know, but people would probably ask that. So just to cover that ground, no, there was nothing being brought in. But yeah, and I think it was to avoid the cameras, correct.
Who do you think could have buried Michael in your backyard?
No idea. I'm not going to answer that either because I will not speak on something I do not know the truth to. I don't even want to guess. I don't want to know.
Because there's you and Sarah in the front seat.
Caesar and Brandon in the back. I know.
Yeah.
You see how big he was?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is just so sad. Let's take a second and look at a video of Michael, okay?
Mm-hmm. What is that, monkey? Bear. What is that? Hi.
Hi there. Oh, give it back the other way.
Out of all of them, who do you think could have put him there? Just your opinion.
I don't know. I think Adrian probably would have had a very good part in it, considering he's well known for human trafficking.
I'm so sorry, Stacey. I know this is horrible.
I cry every day, just so you guys are aware. Like, this hurts me. I should never have been associated or brought to it. I've never been married to Sarah.
We don't need to be made aware. You need to fix your relationship, because that's who has to judge you when you die, sir. Thank you. You don't have to make us believe anything.
I'm hurting. It tears me up every day.
And Crystal, you're not blocked, honey. You're fine. You're fine. And you don't have to trust Stacey. You don't have to trust him. He's here to tell you his side of the story, and he's been very forthcoming. And like he said, it tears his heart out. Did you go out and look for Michael Vaughan yourself?
I did a couple drives, but it wasn't like extensive. I did go out and look, but I didn't go out at the same time Brandon and Sarah went out. No. But I did look for the boy like the next day or something like that.
Well, I mean, where were you when they were out looking for Michael?
I told you where I was. I was at home taking detaching the car from the truck. I was taking up the whole length of the driveway and then some.
Okay, I apologize. I did write that down.
It's okay.
Because in my opinion, you've been manipulated.
I don't know. I don't. Again, that's something I don't feel comfortable talking about because I just like putting the cart before the horse. I told you I'm not going to speak on something I don't know the answer to, even if it's an opinion. Like I don't have a response for that. I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think about the fact that any three of those people, any four of those people, any three of the people could have something to do with it.
Well, you say four. Who would be the fourth? Because we have
Caesar,
eight.
you brought up Caesar.
Okay.
Caesar. I don't know. I'm just saying you brought up a fourth person, so I was including the Alexi.
Mhm.
You mean Lexi? That was 11 year old girl that we were Sarah and I were you just did this tattoo a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago. Like
Man. Wow, what does that mean?
skull with 16 tattoos, none of them. The only one that really hurt me was chest piece.
This whole situation. Because
The fact that this little boy hasn't come home to his family.
because I think you're scared. Are these people threatening you?
I'm not scared at all. I'm scared for this little boy and his family. I have been threatened. Yes, I've been
Who
ridiculed.
threatened?
Nobody, just in the people in the public.
Well, don't worry about them. I'm talking like people that were once in your circle that turned on you.
Oh no, never been threatened by them. I don't have association with them.
Did anything on July 27th scare you?
Not at all. I was scared for that little boy when he went missing. Absolutely.
When did you find out Michael went missing? Do you even know do you know what time he went missing?
No, I just know that the neighborhood was completely dead and empty, or dead and quiet when we left, and when we came back 4 or 5 hours later, it was swarmed with people all over.
When I was talking to you this morning, and I appreciate you being so nice and reaching out and saying, I just want to clear all this up.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned furniture, and I cut you off because I was talking about my own life because I'm really bad like that. Did you guys get new furniture?
I mentioned furniture. What are you talking about? I said I used to move furniture for Labor Day.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
No, the furniture we had was furniture that we've had for since.
So what did you do the day after Michael was abducted?
We just carried on and did what went about with the taxi calls. Just carried on a normal day. I know that I think I went out, told Sarah that I was going to go look for the kid, but We just went about our usual daily activities.
I told Sarah I was going to go look for the kid.
You've been coughing a lot. Do you think maybe that would
Lower back.
no.
I cracked my rib years ago when through a snow and way much better health condition. It's just my lower back. I have back problems really bad, so it just hurts to cough.
Well, we have a question from chat. Jordan Davies wants to know, do you think Sarah has got anything to do with Michael's disappearance, or do you think she's capable of doing this?
Again, I only answer things that I know the answers to is best, but to give you the best answer that I can, Jordan, I don't think that she had anything to do with it. What was the second part of that question?
Oh, hang on. I got to go back up.
Sorry.
Bear with me. Oh, hang on. Peas in a pod said coughing can aggravate lower back issues. Do you have a chiropractor?
No. I probably should go check one out. I haven't been to a chiropractor for years.
I have a chiropractor.
I haven't been to a chiropractor since I've been out of jail, and I was in jail for 18 months. Should go check one out. But I just don't.
Birdo, you got a wrench? Take care of that. They just come right back
Hold
with
on
another
one
troll
second.
name.
I'll find it.
I will tell you, I'm gonna have to like sum this up pretty soon because I have to go do my drug and alcohol testing. I got called today, so and that's it. p.m. or I have to not at 3 p.m. I have to do it before, but I work at 3:45. So
Well,
The kid. So they rescheduled it. They didn't reschedule. They scheduled today's one. It was at 6 o'clock my time. So I definitely did watch the replay. I'm not going to go over that live. He did ask for closed food and cash apps. I'm not posting his cash app. I'm not doing any of that. So I'm not going to go over today's one. You can go to Crime Lines and Lies and watch that one. Can one of my mods drop her link again, please? And watch. I know StreamYard cut me out twice, you guys. I'm sorry. It's freaking out. Watch this video and the one from today on her channel. She did a really, really good job, as you all can tell. I really appreciate all of you for watching with me. That says me. I'll be back in 20 minutes with an interrogation. She does admit it and confess, but like it says, master manipulator. I'll see you in 20. Bye.